Stay away. Type of money gon' let you. Big bank, take low bank. Big bank, take low bank. Everything proper, no propaganda.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback.
Special! I'll go special! Hey, hey!
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Sua Craven's up to make the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Mark that. Gotta go.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Come on, let's go. 95. Hey.
Now Wilson on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Come on, let's go.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, easy. Check 51. Watch the ship.
Penny, a first down carry. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Run it. Bang out. Bam. Hey.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. There to make the tackle, Samson Ebukam.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And able to find Kirk complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
That's it, baby. That's it.
2nd and goal, and Penny standing by himself in the backfield. He'll get it up the middle. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal, would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
You got 4. Don't take too long. Shotgun. Tempo, tempo. Check, check, check. 14, 14. Check, Mike 21, Mike 21. Check, Mike 21.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson dancing to his left. He may try and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And they'll run it here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Flex round! Flex round! 3 down, 3 down. Bang!
They'll set up to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Bobby Wagner in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Here's Marquette King now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now it's Lockett. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
4 down, 18, 18. 4 down. Saturday. Gotta go. Fair.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Gun. Hey, you got 3 down. Gun. Hey, 14.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he's got his man. It's Darboh. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week, but the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
4 down. Check. 18. Watch safety creep. 14.
On first down, Wilson. Oh, wide open, complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And give him a gain of 37. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal.
Gotta go.
They'll try and run forward with Petty. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play.
Keep working,
We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal.
Mike 10. 14. 0.
Here's Wilson to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Shaquille Barrett. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's third and long here.
18. Hey, check Mike 21. Check Mike 21. Spread left. Hey. I got it. There.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Christian Kirk, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 14-0. Here's Myers now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Tempo. Hey, check Mike 21. 12.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Samson Ebukam in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now Perkins. And he showcases the spin, a pretty good gain before he's taken down. That one good for 10 yards, and that'll make it third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Seahawks on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
14. Let's go, 14. Check back 21.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Flush to his right. He lets it fly for Lockett. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's go get another one. Let's go get another one. Come on. Good, guys. 4 down. 4 down.
They'll try to run with Breida. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Shotgun.
He's going to get it running right. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
3rd down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play.
Hey, 4 down. 4 down. Gotta go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Okay, Brandon, work with me here. Let's analyze this situation. A touchdown here, that could be the knockout blow in the 2nd quarter. But if they go for it and don't get it, that could bring life to the other sideline.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Friday. Check 15. Check 15. Check 3.
They run for it with Breida. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
That's 6, baby. We got it all day.
Myers connects on the PAT. And that makes the score 21-0. Here's Myers now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the 1st half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And it'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd down, that's French. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
Give them a lot of credit. They ended up running the ball on a key 3rd down situation. They were staring 3 and out in the face and found a way to flip the script and keep the ball moving on offense.
Here's a 1st down run with Collins. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Flex round.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Simon. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Shift.
Now a play fake here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get a 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
That's it, baby.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this.
Tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
On second down, Collins. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Single. I got 40.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Flex round. 3 down. Quick the edge. Go.
Now back to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end. And it'll be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Right. Move, 15. Hey.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll get this up only to about the 22. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Wilson steps away to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Play. Hey, check Mike 21. Mike 21. Check Mike 21. 12. Tempo.
On 3rd down, Wilson eluding the pressure right. He's got Lockett. And that one results in 35 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and people on the run, had to get on his horse, still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Gun. 14.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
14. 14, front it. Yo, front it. Hey.
Wilson will throw again. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Let's go, let's go. Tempo, tempo. Gun, gun, gun. Four down. Gun, gun, gun. Zebra, zebra. Hey, check, Mike 21.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Forced out to his left. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
Hey, over here.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
You want two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
From the 2 now, second and goal. They get it to him running left. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the route is on here in this first half. Here's Myers now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive.
Sponge!
Back to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's McBride. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
Mike 51!
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
here, guys. Fight 51. Flex round! Flex round! I got you. I got you.
They'll run the counter with Collins. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, they certainly have been going and established the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
You got him. You got him. You got him.
The Broncos on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Ohio! Ohio! Shift! Watch the shift! Hut!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 16.
Hey, hey! Check.
A handoff to Breida to begin the drive. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Yo, Friday, Friday, Friday. 12, 12. Friday, Friday, Friday. Let's go, 14. Mike 21, check Mike 21.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson.
Let's go, B, let's go.
Flushed out right.
Let's get there.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A gain of 32 that time.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
3 down, 3 down. Take 4, take 4.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Let's go get it right here, come on. Hey. 4 down. Friday. Trips right. 12.
Wilson now to throw on 2nd down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Friday. Friday. Don't take forever, okay? Let's go, 14. Zebra. Shotgun. Mike 21, check Mike 21.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Oh, yeah! Ohio! Ohio! Mike 51, Mike.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
51's the mic, 51's the mic. Silver!
Back to throw here. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
This is Breida. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Check 3, check 3. Be alert.
They run again with Breida. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This will be 3rd and 6.
Tempo. Shotgun.
Wilson operating from the gun. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
49's the mic. Watch.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now it's Breida. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Check 50, check 50. 4 down, 4 down. Good luck for signals. Check.
To throw on 3rd down. Wilson going for it all. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Bronco offense now set come back out onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Take 4, take 4.
They're going to look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line.
Tight end right. Hey, boys, we got 4 down. Gotta go. Check 26, check 26. Gotta go. Switch. Hey.
They'll begin the drive with Breida. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Lifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. To throw is Wilson. Looking to throw on second down. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
3 down, 3 down. Tight end left. We got 3.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, it's French, and they'll get him down right about the 20. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. And they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout,
because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Ah, yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They run with Breida. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Here's Breida. And an alley to run. He's at the 30. The 20, 10, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown This thing is ugly. Now Myers for the extra point. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead will swell by one more. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. So the Broncos coming out now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll look to throw here on first down. He's got it complete to Braxton Miller. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw now on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now Collins. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Detroit! Detroit! 49 the mic. 49 the mic.
He'll drop to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And the kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. So there you go, partner. How about that?
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That will tie the all-time record set by Matt Prater of the Broncos back in 2013.
And you know, when Prater hit from 64, that was like breaking DiMaggio's streak or breaking the 4-minute mile of Bannister. Tom Dempsey 63, that was a legendary number. So to top that here, even if it just ties the record, pretty darn awesome.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.
What's the mic? I'm coming! I'm coming! I'm coming!
And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before.
Bravo team moving to checkpoint.
2 o'clock, 10 feet up the right.
Visual 3 o'clock.
Sometimes the front lines are in our own backyard.
Stanley in sight.
Make a difference in your community, serving part-time in the Army National Guard.
go play action here on first down. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Flushed out right. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Tre'Davious White with a pick. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now Lutz for the field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Detroit! Hurry up, hurry up!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A final shot before the break, Rudolph. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And right side, Henry's got it. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
The last two plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Rudolph. Dancing to his... And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Detroit!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Steps away, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. T.J. Watt in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On first down, Scott. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's Rudolph now on second down. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down. They'll run on first down. Scott. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Rudolph throwing on second down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Detroit! Shotgun snap for Rudolph. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, but then call more of that.
On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and all of a sudden here it's third down.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll drop the throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he won't get in, but you can't be set up any better than that. They'll have the ball at the 1-yard line. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal.
Gone! Detroit! Detroit!
They'll try and sneak it here. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
He's going to get it running right. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? Third and goal.
Gone! Watch it now, Barney! All right, now, lucky 56! Lucky 56!
After the run, Rudolph now going to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Detroit!
Back now in Pittsburgh. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
Buying time to his... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And Pitt. Getting set to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
They begin with Henry. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you've got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
One. Three down. One.
Mariota now to throw on first down. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Three down.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Goes underneath for Henry. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, Scott fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. Off play action to Henry. Here's Mariota. And caught left side, Olsen. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. Mariota going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Mariota hands to Henry. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Three. One.
Mariota now on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. A pretty good coverage there. And both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Throwing is Mariota. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants.
The ball comes out, and it looks like Steeler football. It is! So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mariota gives to Henry. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Scott, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Mariota. This is caught, and they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. So 2nd and goal, and the big man Henry alone in the backfield. And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
You
certainly
loved
did.
the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Steelers, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they drop back to 500 now. It's second down. Dalton looking. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
The Colts on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Dalton here from the gun. He's going to float this over the middle deep and got his man complete. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. It's a big conversion on third for the Colts. 57 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Set. 319. 319. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Forced out to it, and he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Philly, here we go.
From the gun, Dalton. And he will find his man on the outside. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Despite only needing 1, Dalton to throw. Escapes the sack. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Jabal Sheard in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the
How
time.
many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener, whatever.
He's got a man, complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play here for Buffalo, 46 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, now this from 43. And his kick is indeed good, and that's going to tie us at 13. So they come away from this opening drive of the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's Dalton. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on and it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go.
2nd and 10. Dalton once more. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
The Colts on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and The Colts on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. First try for the right arm of Dalton here. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. It's caught. Jones. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Give him 30 yards there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. They'll go option to the short side. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now Brissett, the backup, his first throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Mitchell. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing. Brissett. Flushed out right. And fights him off. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete.
Well, there's a bunch of pressure that time on 3rd down. They nearly got him. Probably should have gotten him, but he's able to escape the pocket. But unfortunately, by then, that play had already broken down.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Every player I know tends to play the game in his mind before it actually happens. There's no way he thought that at this stage of the game, this would be his first big run like that.
Yeah, but it's got to feel for him like the floodgates open, a sigh of relief. Now we'll see if things can open up for him.
See if it can continue.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
When teams have a tough time running the ball as this one has throughout this game, it's so easy to just say, forget it, let's throw the football. But that's exactly why you stay with the running game. Eventually, you stick with it, you make some adjustments, you often find ways to run the ball better as the game goes on.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And now to the air, Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were, and so possession will remain with Indy. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity missed.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Over here.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Throw left side complete. That's Mitchell. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A first down throw for Brissett. Escaping the pressure right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. Dallas up just shy of midfield. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Ohio! Flex round!
Here's Brissett. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Brissett looks to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Brissett now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
All right, my man. And this is now where it's risk-reward, because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I was going to say could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year, but he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Bills, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll be at home for one next week against the Oakland Raiders. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
What's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang? I got it. Think it's my fault. For real. Keep the rest. Hey, I got that chicken to go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault.